morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, YouTube viewers. Good morning, Instagram viewers. And good morning, Facebook viewers. Good morning to my people. We're all here. We stand in another day of rain, but I'm going to put some sunshine in the screen so that, you know what I'm saying, when we get this message, we all get it. And it's going to be something that shines bright, something that we could take with us and, look at life in a different way, in a more positive way by better understanding ourselves. And today, this short story is about something that, there's not a person in the world who hasn't heard of someone who's gone through it or they've gone through it themselves. And it's divorce. It's a nasty thing, but what this short story is about is the thing that no one talks about, that the reason most relationships fail and or most marriages fail. Um, we always talk about the ugly side, but let's talk about the things where both parties are at fault. The divorce is just the final result of it, but both parties are at fault. And this short story is fitting for that. It's entitled "The Day the Music Stopped." Okay, so uh, Bill and Kim, they met growing up through high school or before high school. They grew up in the same neighborhood, so they were always friends, hanging out, with pretty much the neighborhood. And as they got older and got into high school, they became closer and they became a couple, inseparable, you know. And so right after graduation, uh, Billy goes off to, he goes off to the military. Kim, she's in college. So, they maintain a long distance relationship. And, once both of them are through, with their 4 year ordeals, Billy's out of the military. Kim's done with school. Kim's starting her career. Billy is coming home from the military. He's starting his career, and they decide to get married. It's what normal people do, and so right after marriage, they bring in their first child, which is a daughter, a beautiful girl. And within 5 years, they had two more children. So they had a little family going within 6 years of the marriage. Things are beautiful. The kids are growing. They got to go to soccer. They got to go to piano. They got to go to ballet. They got to go to gymnastics. They got to go to parent-teacher meetings. So these are all the responsibilities of family life. And so as the kids got older, one by one, they went off to college. And when the last child that they had was in college, up until that point, life is good, everything is good, family's good. Last child, last year of school, last year of his college, Billy's home. It's a weekend. He's working on his car. So, Billy leaves, and when Billy leaves, he goes down to the auto parts, comes back, with something that he needed for his vehicle, and Kim's gone. Kim's gone, and so he's not thinking nothing of it. He's working on his car, and a sheriff comes up, and when the sheriff comes up, the sheriff hands him a note, and the note says, "Kim wants a divorce," and that was his hard reality. That's where where everything like crashed. In the beginning, he felt like it was a joke, like somebody was pranking him. But in actuality, it wasn't a prank. Kim filed for divorce. And we're going to leave that story there because, we all know stories where we can throw whatever we want in the ending of them. But I want to bring out some pointers in this that says, how to, that divorces aren't always divorces because of bad things behind closed doors. That's not what all divorces are. Sometimes divorces are just differences based on differences, irreconcilable differences. And that's what we're going to talk about, because that plays a part in every divorce. No one gets divorced without this. So it's very important that we understand, the process of this. So, what we didn't see in this story is, how Billy and Kim, they spent all their time together, growing up and being together. They were pretty much, together. So, that's one part of the story that, we lose sight of, from the beginning, because uh, in the beginning, everything is just that good. You're young, we're growing, and we're going through life. So it's not that serious at the time as while we're growing up. So, and number two, what we do see in the story is a transition, and the transition is from a love-based relationship to a transactional based relationship. And then you say to yourself, well, how do you get to, love is love? No, no, no. Love is not love. There's love, and then there's transactional love. Meaning, love is love where it doesn't matter. The person can, live off the land, or, the woman, she can be a bag woman. The man can be a rag man. It doesn't matter. You love the person for who that person is, and that's what's important. That's unconditional love. That's love. But then there's love that says, I want a man who makes over $100,000 a year. I want a man who drives a certain type of car. I want a man who does A, B, C, or D. Now, this is transactional love. This is not love. If you put requirements on that love, it's not love. It's a transaction. So we're going to find out how this relationship went from a love-based relationship into a transactional relationship. Okay? So once the children were introduced into this relationship, once the children came into the picture, things changed. The responsibilities changed. Their relationship that Billy and Kim had will never be the same. It would never be the same. And this is where Billy was unwilling to make those changes that needed to be made in order to keep this relationship strong and keep this relationship going. This is where the divorce came in. So what Billy found out, the hard reality, that love is a job. Love is a job. It's 24/7. It doesn't mean that you can take a day off. There's no vacations. If there's children in the picture, you're working overtime. So, in the beginning, the relationship was, like a honeymoon. It was like romance and desire, passion, sex, everything that you want that's under the sun. That's how all relationships start out. And then, the warning comes because, there's flaws. There's flaws that were seen before this. It's the flaws that we overlook. And it's the flaws in the relationship. 9 out of 10 times, it's that same flaw that was way, way back in the day is the same flaw is the reason why most people get divorced. So, just to go away from subject for a minute, but it's almost like a woman. I'll use me. A woman that I was with. We had a relationship, and it's almost like relationships. You mature, and when you mature in a relationship, I just assumed that I could bring this woman with me. I just assumed that hey, we're going forward. We're already living together, so let's go forward together. I make a step, I'm bringing you up with me. That philosophy doesn't always work. And in my situation, the hard reality came when the woman, the female, said to me, hey, look, Dennis, I was like this when you met me. That changed my life. That woman changed my life when she said that, because she was so true in what she said. I met her where, everything was like free and easy. So once everything became serious, she still wanted that free and easy. That's what made her, be drawn to me in the first place. So let that be a wake up call for everyone out there also, that, it's a falls on expectation. We can't expect for everybody to go where we're going. And that's another reason why relationships, they don't work out. But it's accepting those flaws. And we, in our subconscious minds, thinking that, hey, we're the doctor, we can fix this person. Again, viewers, you cannot fix anyone until you fix yourself. And even when you fix yourself, you still can't change a person. You can only be an example for that person to follow. Whether the person wants to follow you or not remains to be seen. But at least do your part so that you can feel okay and not feel hurt if things don't work out, and you can feel okay if things work out. You're still going to be you because you have an understanding of you. Okay, so the children, they changed everything. They changed that, that free and easy relationship that Billy and Kim shared. Now that time was being taken up with the kids, and Billy felt that, well, since the kids are here, I'm no longer obligated to my wife Kim, as I should be, because we got the kids now. So, hey, we can't do things anymore. And then on Kim's side, I'm going to explain that also after. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to get right to that. But I'm going to explain Kim's side of things. So once children do come in, sex is not going to be the same. You're not going to have that same type of intimate relationship. You're not going to have that same type of, getaway time where you can get away and you can, be together because you have children. Things change, so we can accept this part of it. So, the children are basically the main focus. They become the main focus. And that's important because they should be. When children are introduced into a relationship, that relationship has to change. And both partners have to be willing to change in order to sustain that relationship. Not so much as providing for the children, but providing for one another, while with also providing to the children. So you see, all needs have to be met. It just doesn't shift and say, hey, things don't happen anymore, so therefore, I don't have to be responsible for it. All I have to do is pay bills. No, it doesn't work like that. Again, irreconcilable differences. So it doesn't mean that we give one another a free pass. There are no free passes in this scenario, meaning that we just just not hold our end. I'm going to use as an example for that is a job. Now you work a job and I work that job with you. Now we work on that job together. So our boss comes in and he says, hey, look, Dennis, hey, look, viewer, there's 86 boxes on this pallet, and those 86 boxes need to be loaded onto those shelves right there. And we need that every day, every morning, and we need this done by 10 o'clock. So you go into work, and every day you go into work, you're finding that you're putting up 83 boxes on that shelf. But I walk into the job right with you, and I only put up 3. I do it today, tomorrow, then week, then month, and then for a year. I'm only carrying not even any of my weight. How long will that working relationship last? So there's no difference in the two. It's not going to last. It's not going to work. And one person is going to say, you know what, I'm tired of this. So, this is the reason for self-reflection. This is the reason why, I come on in the morning and I'm pushing the new way of thinking or rethinking how we think, and, to self-actualize and to self-reflect. Because when we self-reflect, we can see, step outside of the picture to look at the picture from the outside so that we can see the whole picture. We run, and we take for granted. Then what happens on that day when you're on your job? If you're a female, you're on your job, and the sheriff walks into the job and he's handing you these divorce papers. Or if you're a man like Billy working on his car and they walk up and they hand you these divorce papers, and you say to yourself, hey, I didn't think anything was wrong. Yeah, there is something wrong, and that comes with communication. Communication should never stop. And like the example of what you would do in a working relationship, you get tired of it and you go straight into that office and you tell your boss, you'd be like, hey, I come into work and this person's not carrying his load. I'm not going to continuously do this if this person is not, trying to meet me halfway. Not even trying to meet me halfway. He's only putting up 3 boxes. I put up 83. I'm not doing this. And the boss would agree. The company would agree. They discipline the person or they would fire that person. So you see, for a woman or for a man, you'll go up to your boss to complain about something like that. But then in a relationship, you'll go a roundabout way. We call in our friends. We call in our families. So it's like this group type meeting of gossip going on to the point where the couple no longer can talk to anyone because now their relationship has become, a thing of amusement for people, even though they're going through some serious stuff. So this is why communication has to always be open. Women, you have to be willing to listen. Men, you have to be willing to listen. Women, you have to be able to speak and stand up for what's yours. If we're in a relationship where we cannot talk to the person, that's a relationship you shouldn't be in. And if you were best friends when the relationship first started, that's something that doesn't go away. What goes away was what you felt for this person real. So this is where time comes into play. So this is why I encourage people, to take time when going into relationships, take time, doing anything in life. Don't just, jump into it because we have to remember that we have responsibilities to it. Just like a job. Responsibility is like a job. And when we take on these responsibilities, we have to deal with the consequences. And in Billy's situation, once the kids came, he didn't feel the same about Kim. And that showed throughout all the years that Kim stood by and was hoping for change. She watched all her children grow, hoping for change. And when she saw that change, wasn't ever going to come, you found out what did come, that piece of paper. So we don't want that piece of paper. We want good relationships. We want positive relationships. And we want to break down these walls of the way relationships out here are being portrayed. Because I hear so much where females say, where are all the good men at? And I've heard men say, or females say, where are all the good men? The men say, where are all the good women? So, we're out there, we're here, but we're not rushing anymore. We're not bouncing around and falling into those love traps. We're not falling into those love stories that you sell. Women and as well as men out there, they're selling dreams. And the reality is that once the month is over and you start to see these little cracks in these dreams, it makes, after a while, it makes it not even worthwhile, not even to, try to be intimate with a female, but just to, continuously focus on ourselves and our development and, where we want to be in life. So it's not that we're not out here, it's the fact that, we're in a world right now where everybody's manipulating everybody, everybody's lying to everybody, and everybody is trying to be one up on the other person. And for the good people, we don't want it because that at the end of the day, that's all game. So if we want to play games, there's always PlayStation, Xbox, there's always, tennis, there's always, gymnastics, there's always, something else, another game that you can play that you can have fun with. Games like this is not fun. So hopefully that answers where all the good people are and why all the women or whether it be men who come out of these long relationships like Billy and Kim that just was explained, why they are not in a hurry to jump into another relationship. And most people would think that they would. No, it doesn't work like that. You know, for good people, we're living in a whole new world. So with that, I want to get this out because it's a rainy day, and rainy days is like them love-making days. So, you know, when we encounter a day like this, we take something away from it that's positive. We walk away to say, hey, yes, you know, we take on our responsibility in any situation in life. So with that, I want to say thank you to all the viewers, and thank you, Lindsay, for your comment on yesterday's video. You know, I look forward to, you know, our conversating with you, you know, good people, and you have good conversation. So, you know, continue, and you know, for everyone else, I'm glad that, you know, we bringing you quality content. If there's a topic you want to hear, you know, mention that topic and I'll speak about it without mentioning names. So, like I said, all the stories that I talk about, they're fictitious, but they're based on real life situations that we all go through, and how we can apply, you know, from the story, how we can apply those things to our lives. So with that, I want to say have an awesome day, have a beautiful day, and with this, I want to say peace, or click like, subscribe, share, and peace and blessings.
Ooh.